Hey y'all, this is Nancy the Handy Scandy. Thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today I am featuring the Valentine Heart Border Stamp from Technique Junkies, and those are the 4 panels I'll be making, and these are the 4 cards that those panels end up becoming. I am not going to show you the process for all 4 cards because it's essentially the same, but I am going to kind of jump right in. And first of all, let me apologize. My voice is a little scratchy. My energy is a little low. I've been sick. I've had surgery recently and just getting home from the hospital the other day. So yeah, so I'm a little bit low, but I wanted to get this done and let you guys see this beautiful stamp from Technique Junkies as part of the new release. And yeah, I just needed to jump back in the game. So there will be periods where I stop and just allow the music to play so that I can kind of catch my breath and let my energy kind of recoup. But for the most part, what you see is what you get. So I'm stamping this gorgeous stamp and I love it. Again, it's called the Valentine Heart Border Stamp from Technique Junkies. It's part of the new release for January 2021, and I'm stamping it twice on each of these 4 panels. It's so sweet, it's soft, it's clean, it's wispy, it's ethereal, and I just love it. It stands perfectly by itself. It doesn't need any other adornments. Here you see me kind of stamping that bottom corner because I didn't have the placement quite right, and I wanted to make sure that it didn't just stop abruptly at the end of the card. But this cardstock that I'm using is a specialty mirror stock from Tonic. It's a rose gold. I can't remember the exact name, but it's gorgeous. And I'm just using some, I started to use the Brutus Monroe embossing powder, but I ended up going with the Hero Arts White Satin Pearl because I just really wanted that tone-on-tone effect. Excuse me, and I couldn't stop. I mean, I love this stamp so much. I just had to stamp all the things. So the other panels that you see me stamp on are just going to be panels from my stash. I couldn't tell you where they came from, how long I've had them, what brand, anything like that. I just was playing and wanted to see how the various colors of embossing powder would look on the cardstocks. So here you can see that my card is warping quite a bit. That heat and the mirror stock don't get along very well, but I'm trying to keep the heat on the cardstock minimally and still get all of the embossing powder melted. There are a few spots that didn't quite get melted properly, and I go back later and hit those, but for the most part it's good to go right now, and I love it. It's so pretty. That tone on tone is just, that's just where my heart was. And I've said before that I kind of craft in the moment. Whatever my hands want to do, what my heart wants to do in that moment, that's what I do. So that's where I was on this day. And here you can see I'm going at it again on this navy cardstock. And I'm just going to let the process play out for you. And so I have it sped up quite a bit here. I can't remember if it's 3 times or 4 times, but you guys get the gist, and I do this on several different panels. The reason I stamped and embossed this in 2 different parts was because just the placement of my cardstock when I did that first stamping would have meant that it was hanging out, as you saw, hanging out of the MISTI, and that would have, the door of the MISTI would have then smudged the stamping. So I needed to go ahead and get that heat embossing done before I stamped the next round. And I'm loving this silver on the blue cardstock. It's so very pretty. Don't worry about all that what looks like excess powder there, because that just wipes right away. It's really just glitter. It's a fine glitter in these Brutus Monroe embossing powders. So you'll see it just wipes right away. You give it a second for the powder to fully dry, because it's melted, so you want it to dry, and then you just wipe all that excess away, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This one is called Cranberry. It was part of the, I think it was part of the embossing powder of the month. And if you guys aren't familiar with Brutus Monroe and their embossing powders, let me encourage you to check them out. But Technique Junkies, this new release, there's so many fun stamps, so many fun products and projects waiting to be made. If you're snarky, there's a stamp set called Inside Out. I love snow. And you talk about snark, especially if you dislike winter, you want to check this one out for sure. There's one that says, want to know the best thing about winter? And then on the inside it says, when it's over. And then there's one that says, do you want to build a snowman? On the inside it says, of course you don't want to build a freaking snowman. Let's build a sandcastle on a beach in the sun where there's no snow. And there's more, some that I don't necessarily want to say in a video, but they're so much fun. So let me encourage you to check out Technique Junkies' new release. I'll have everything listed downstairs for sure. There is a special discount for the first, I don't know how many days, but yeah, I think you can get 25% off the entire bundle. And you can also get 10% off with my discount code, and that is, I don't even know anymore. I've been out of the loop for a while. I'll have it all listed downstairs. But these are my 4 panels, guys. They're so pretty. I'm loving the softness, the tone on tone. It's just so wispy and ethereal. I'm in love with it. And it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It can be whatever you want it to be. And you can mix it and match it with other products and sentiments, and it's just really sweet. Look at that, aren't they sweet? And so here I go into the actual card making, and again, I don't make all of them. I don't show the process for completing all of them. But this blue one, I decided I wanted it to be a New Year's card. So New Year, New Hope. That is, I think, where we're all at right now. 2020 was a bear. It kicked our tails. For me personally, 2021 is starting out kind of rough. But I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. I know this is just a thing and it will pass, and I am ever the optimist. So New Year, New Hope. And that is, again, a Technique Junkies sentiment. So I stamp it with my Brutus Monroe embossing ink, and I hit it with this beautiful blue embossing powder. And if I can, I will list it down below. This is one that I've had in my stash for years. I don't even know if I know where it came from. I'm looking while we're talking and I'm not even finding it. But yeah, if I can list it down below, I certainly will. Oh, here it is. It is from, I don't even know, I can't read it, it's too dark. I don't know. I'll try to list it down below. Personal Stamp Exchange. This is probably 15, 20 years old. And so I stamp it up, I layer it, I die cut it with the Creekbank Creations stitched or rectangle dies. And I used Pink Fresh Studio label die to cut out the sentiment. And then I just had this sweet little gingham ribbon that I wanted to add to it, and just a cute little pearl heart. I just thought that made it kind of a country casual feel. And here I have used the Whimsy Stamps Slimline Fancy Frame die to cut out the image with the hearts, and I used, again, the Creekbank Creations stitched rectangle die to cut out the pattern paper in the back. And I just layered them up with some fun foam and some liquid glue. And here I've taken the Love, Laughter, and Coffee stamp, and I just stamped All You Need Is Love, and then I used a circle die from my stash and just cut out half of it, and that's all I did. I think it's super cute. And then I used some little dots from Gina Marie Designs and just embellished it a little bit. And this one I think is super cute. I've used several of the Technique Junkies stamps, the books, coffee, the dogs, books, and coffee, and then the coffee stain, and I think it's super cute. And then of course that's the first one where I started. So guys, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Thanks for putting up with me today. Thanks for being patient and watching along and listening to my scratchy voice. I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a like, a thumbs up, all those things. Subscribe if you're not already a member of my happy little tribe. And leave me a comment downstairs, guys. Give me some happy wishes for the New Year's. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.